Truth, Justice, and the Frank Miller Way. Superman, Year One, by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Welcome, everybody, to Pop Friction Super. Superman, Year One. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great. It's not the best thing Frank Miller has ever written. It's not the best thing John Romita Jr. has ever drawn. But I enjoyed it. It's well worth the price of, $7.99. It's a lot bigger than your average comic. So oversized, overpriced, but not really overpriced. Like I said, it's worth the $7. The title here, Superman Year One, very deceptive because this takes place from the time he's on Krypton till he's 18. That's not a year, Frank. It's not a year, DC. That's close to 2 decades. But probably DC was like, well, one of your most well-known and most beloved comics is Batman Year One, and that's an origin story. Let's just call it Superman Year One. That makes no fucking sense because Batman Year One actually took place over the course of 1 year. And they've kind of already had a Superman Year One written by Jeff Loeb and drawn by Tim Sales, Superman for All Seasons, which takes place over a year. Each season, 4 issues. Each issue was a season, and that's a really good read too. If you've never read it, pick it up. I got the Frank Miller cover. Frank's getting old. Looks like he's drawn with a fucking Sharpie. I don't know, but he's like I said, he's old. He's had a lot of health problems. I'm sure he's got, wrist and finger joint problems, arthritis, carpal tunnel, whatever. But he's also a well-known alcoholic. And it's kind of weird when you look at him now, when you see him. He looks like a 90-year-old man. And you look at his mentor, Neil Adams, he looks like he's in his mid-50s. And he's probably 20 years older than Frank Miller. But, stay away from the alcohol, kids. Starts off on Krypton with some fantastic, hit the camera. Some fantastic artwork. The coloring is fucking great. Alex Sinclair, fantastic colorist. Danny Miki, doing the inks. He does a really good job of inking John Romita Jr. stuff. John Romita Jr.'s artwork it's not the norm. It never has been, but I've always loved it. And depending on the inker, makes the artwork look better. I would say this is the best thing John Romita Jr. has drawn since he's been at DC. The inks really help. He's not as good as he once was, but like I said, he's getting older too. He's got to be in his 50s. Some of these facial expressions are a bit off, but whatever. First 5 or 6 pages just retell Krypton, the destruction, and them sending him off, and I don't know. Same old, same old. Really, the story is just the same old, same old. The kids find him, raise him. He meets Lana. You see him learning his powers, heat ray vision, all this stuff. He has a hard time sleeping at night because of his enhanced hearing, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't think I'd ever seen Superman address that. Just look at this. This is terrible. He looks like something out of a children's horror movie. I don't know. But it's a highly stylized art style. I keep hitting the fucking camera. Let's get up a couple pages there. Anyway, he gets in high school, and there's this bullying situation. Clark runs around with the misfits, pretty much. The freaks and the geeks. even a goth kid, which means this is set in the 80s? The 90s? I know the book is set in the Dark Knight Returns universe, and that is this version of Superman. And a lot of people are forgetting that. And they're all pissed about something that happened at the end. Let's just skip to, well, bullies, and they're escalating, they're getting worse. We'll skip the part I was talking about next. They're getting worse, they're getting more violent. They're really kicking the shit out of his friends, even though Clark's been secretly fucking with them. So it might be his fault. They were already just, being your normal bullies, not really hurting people. And then Clark starts, fighting back against them, which makes them escalate. I don't know. But Lana's got something on them. Like, they're getting bad, and they got something big, and we got to stop them. She's working for the school paper. And old goth boy hears, and he's like, I'm going to save my ass. Maybe if I tell them she's got something on them, they'll leave me the fuck alone. She's supposed to meet Clark that night. She goes out, and those boys are already waiting for her. And they are going to rape her to death. They're going to gang rape Lana Lang to death. Lana Lang is going to be raped. Gang raped. Are you listening to me? Gang raped. And you might say, oh, that shit doesn't happen in small towns. Yeah, it does. I grew up in a small town. Same shit that happens in big cities happens in small towns. Rape, murder, drugs, theft. That kind of shit. But Clark shows up just in time to save her. And it's right when he learns how to fly. Magic carpet ride. Aladdin. Skip some more pages. He decides to join the military because he needs to go see the world. The world's calling to him. He's got to do it. He's got to get out of there. See the world. God damn. Fucking big ass pages. Play some football. His dad's parents are watching. Really proud of him because he's like, oh, there's my boy. He's going. He's not using his powers either. He's not just showboating because he can. He's not showboating. Oh. And then he's got 15 fucking people on him. And they're not bringing him down. And his dad's like, geez. Disappointed. But anyway, he decides to join the, what is it? Can't remember, the Marines, the Navy? The seas are calling to me, so the Navy. Joins the Navy. It's like, I gotta learn everything about everything. So I can save this planet. This planet's crying to me. I've got to see it all. I've got to know what's wrong with it, and then I've got to fix it. And then, that's where he's fucking up. He's going to join the military to fix the world. But that's the perfect trajectory for this version of Superman. Because in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight series, all his stuff, Superman is a government tool. He works for the United States government. They tell him what to do. He does it. And it's all because they brainwash him, as they do most of the time, to people in the military. His mother even mentions it. Yeah. They have insane plans. They will reformat Clark's brain, brainwash him, turn him into some kind of robot, some kind of war machine. He'll be their war machine, their killing machine. But they don't listen. Now, I really think they missed a golden opportunity to have the indoctrination of, God's guns, glory. The government does no wrong. You should join the military. They really fucked up by not having it begin with this guy right here, Jonathan Kent. They could have had him be a vet. Did a tour or two somewhere, in the military, out of high school. So he's like, the military, best time of my life. That's what they should have done. Should have been like, I served, your grandfather served, your great-grandfather served. It's what Kents do. We help America. We make it better any way we can. That should have been where it began. That's the way I would have written it. You know, the American way, truth, justice, the American way should have been preeminent in this story. And it may still be, but I'm saying it should have started with old Pa Kent. He should have been a die-hard military man or something. Just loved the military, loved his time in the military. It's also implied in this issue that Clark lost his virginity to Lana. They just imply it. They don't really show it, which is okay. But it is a black label, DC black label. They could have, well, now they're teenagers, can't show this shit. So, good choice, guys. It ends with him being like, I'm at the military base, I can't wait to be brainwashed, and God's guns glory. Woo! You know, that kind of shit. I enjoyed it. It could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, it's better than Frank Miller's last offering, which was Xerxes. Confusing mess artistically. It was okay. It wasn't as good as 300. Definitely the best thing John Romita Jr. has drawn since being at DC, I feel, but I think it's the inker who really helps. Not his best work. Their best work together was Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. That's just a fantastic story. I did enjoy the Batman, The Last Crusade from a couple years ago they worked on together. They're a good team. If you'd put another artist on this, it wouldn't have been half as enjoyable. But I recommend it. Go check it out. I'm definitely on board for all three because there's only three. So I won't be getting rid of it after the third issue. It's nice to hold though. It feels good. Feels good. I like to see Frank Miller. I'm glad Frank Miller's back to somewhat of his old form. It's better than Holy Terror. That was a confusing mess as well, artistically and story-wise. But yeah, go get it if you haven't got it already. It's been out for what, a week. So pick it up. Peace.